Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. All right, let's talk about Trump's and let's talk about Biden's actions regarding and statements regarding Alexei Navalny, and compare this to his actions regarding Julian Assange. Okay, first of all, Alexei Navalny. You know, people wanted Trump impeached and arrested and so forth for inciting an insurrection in this country. Meanwhile, Alexei Navalny is actually trying to incite an insurrection in Russia against the Russian government. And Alexei Navalny is basically the Russian equivalent to Trump. People say that he revealed this corruption in the Russian government. Okay, there's some, corruption in the Russian government, a huge part of which got put into place after the wall came down and, we installed helped to install our preferred, president of Russia, and the capitalists just raped the country. Yeah. Putin has had an anti-corruption movement effort going on in the Russian government since 2012. And it's been very successful. Yeah, you don't even hear of an anti-corruption effort going on in this country. Putin threw the Rothschild's banks out of Russia. They've been so successful in many respects that they paid off their national debt in 2017, and they've got a budget surplus every year. So yeah, that's real corrupt, right? Their citizens have universal health care. They spend 5% or less what we spend on our official defense budget. So show me that corruption compared to ours. Anyway, so Biden is speaking about Navalny. All right, let's look at this. First of all, they're claiming, Russia is poisoning their citizens. They've had 3 people allegedly poisoned with one of the most deadly substances in the history of mankind. All 3 survived. All 3 recovered within days. It wasn't like years of, therapy and treatment or anything like that. No organ transplants occurred. Nothing like that. How deadly is that? Anyway. So that doesn't add up. And I brought it up. If you want to talk about poisoning your own citizens, well, let's talk about the 5,000 plus cities in the United States with higher levels of lead in the water than Flint, Michigan, which still doesn't have clean water. Okay? So you want to talk about poisoning your citizens? Let's talk about the forever chemicals in our water supply. Let's talk about that and poisoning your own citizens. Okay? All right. Let's have that discussion. I want to have that discussion. So You know, if you're for the Biden administration and talking about how horrid all this is, then you got to look at your own country, at our own country first. All right? What was Alexei Navalny arrested for? He was arrested for violating parole. I forget what the original charge was, but it was pretty serious. So he was not arrested on his first violation of parole. It was the third violation. The third violation. So the first time he got away with it with a warning. The second time he got away with it with a warning. Under the terms of his parole, he was not allowed to leave the country. It was on the third violation, when he left the country, to meet with collaborators outside the country against the Russian government, that he was finally arrested. That is Alexei Navalny. Now let's compare that. Now, okay, even if you want to say he's revealing corruption in the Russian government, okay, now let's look at Julian Assange. What the Biden administration is continuing to pursue the extradition of Assange from the UK to the United States. Why? Because he did what a journalist does. He revealed the truth. This has nothing to do with 2016, but I will get to that. Have you ever seen the WikiLeaks video that was passed from Chelsea Manning to Julian Assange and posted online? It's called Collateral Murder. This video showed the U.S. military conducting war crimes in Afghanistan. All right, and that information was deemed classified. So, are you really in favor of our government covering up war crimes? That was what was revealed there. And that is what Chelsea Manning has spent time in prison for twice. And that is why Julian Assange has been in a form of incarceration, one form or another, including Belmarsh Prison, since 2012. This began under the Obama administration. Now, I don't care what you think of Assange. That's not the issue here. But as far as the accusations against him, the accusation, there were accusations of rape. Well, those charges were not filed by the women involved. They were filed by the Swedish government at the behest of the United States government. The women involved, have always maintained that what happened between he and they, on separate occasions, was consensual. Although, in one case, there was the allegation of unprotected sex. The woman was on birth control. There was no pregnancy. There was no communicable disease that was transmitted. All right? And aside from that, it was consensual. Under Swedish law, that is considered rape. That there was no protection used against her will. In the second case, there was protection used, but the condom ruptured. And the only reason she went to the police was to try and find him, to ask him to take an STD test. That's it. That's all. As far as claims of sex with a minor, that didn't happen. There was never any allegation of that. That was a complete fabrication. So, even if you support him standing trial for, sexual assault, and if you think he is so horrible in these cases. Oh, by the way, the second woman, she went and bought, after having sex with him, she went and bought breakfast and brought it back to the hotel room before he woke up in the morning. So, does that sound like assault to you? So, even if you support that, what you would support would be him being sent back to Sweden, and this being heard in a court of law in Sweden. The United States has nothing to do with it. Julian Assange is not an American citizen. He is an Australian citizen. The women are not American, they are Swedish. The events which happened there happened in Sweden. The United States has nothing to do with it. Let's get up to 2016. What was revealed by WikiLeaks was the Clinton campaign taking over the DNC and taking away your right. It doesn't matter whether you're Democrat, Republican, or Independent, whatever. They took away your right to elect your choice for the Democratic nomination. And Hillary Clinton was installed as the Democratic nominee. Let me remind you, the DNC is not a government agency. It is a private entity. There is no method by which the U.S. government can deem the emails of the DNC as classified government information. They are not a government contractor. They are under no rules of the U.S. government. And in a court of law, they actually said that they could choose the nominee in a smoke-filled back room with no input from you at all. That was their defense against fraud in a federal court of law. And yet, Julian Assange, WikiLeaks, revealed what was going on in the DNC. So, let me remind you that openly, the Obama administration declined to actively pursue charges against Julian Assange because of the impact it would have on the First Amendment. However, secretly, it was revealed later that under the Obama administration, there was a sealed indictment against Julian Assange and an extradition agreement with the UK government under the Obama administration. Let me remind you that Joe Biden was vice president at that time. People want to claim to be against corruption as long as Trump's name is at the top of the letterhead. But all this corruption did not happen under under Trump. It happened under first George W. Bush, and then legal proceedings pursued by the Obama administration and perpetuated by the Trump administration. And now the Biden administration, he says he's reversing Trump's policies and actions, and yet he is still pursuing the appeal to extradite Julian Assange for the crime of being a journalist. So the question comes up: are you against corruption? Are you in favor of journalism, the First Amendment, the freedom of the press? Do you think that our government should be able to cover up war crimes and crimes that take away your right to choose an elected official? These are the key elements in this. What are you really for? Are you only against the pursuit of Assange if it happens under Trump? Are you only against it then? But then when Biden does the exact same thing, you're suddenly for it. Or you'll just remain silent about it. Even the reason that the British judge refused to extradite Assange was out of concern for his health, because they felt that he would fare poorly in the U.S. incarceration system. What does that say about our prisons? He's being held in one of the worst prisons in the UK, and the judge thinks that he would do worse in our system. What the? Are you kidding? And you're not seeing this. UN Special Rapporteur on Torture, Niels Melzer, said that Julian Assange is being physically and psychologically tortured. And you're not against this? What does this say about you? If you're not standing up against this, no matter the administration, no matter whose freaking name is on the letterhead, you're either for what's right, or you're against what is right. And that's it. There is no if, and, or in between. All right? Share this video. Talk about these subjects. If you can, please donate $1 a month and help expand the channel. And think about what the implications of the Assange case are for other people who reveal the truth. All right. That's it. Please share this video. And I'll catch you in the next one.